Welcome to Mad Mega Gaming, where we are mad mega about video games, formerly known as the Uncommon Guild Podcast, Uncommon Drops, and Mad Mega Gaming.
Biscuit.
And we're back to Mad Mega Gaming.
Today I am Matt, I am the host. Today I'm joined by Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Richy. And Marc. Oh no, the music's too short. Oh well. Today's episode we'll be talking about the XP boost in AC Valhalla, Devotion coming back and then swiftly leaving from storefronts, and OMG Cyberpunk stuff. But first, let's talk about things that we've been up to. Chris, why don't you start us off today?
Okay, so mine's somewhat game related. Instead of playing games in my free time, I've been researching PC parts because I'm trying to upgrade my rig for the first time since 2012, finally. I think. Well, first time I built a PC since 2012. I bought a laptop in 2016 or 2015, and it is struggling. These guys will tell you.
How much money dropping into your new rig?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
I just see Chris knows about
But we are. Yeah, and what's available happens to be a 3090. I'm going to get 3090. Yeah, so I'm looking at the 3080 with the Ryzen 5600 CPU and upgrades here and there, and including a mandatory PSU upgrade because 3080 cannot handle my, I think it's like a 520 watt PSU.
Oh my god.
How much does the 3080 take on its own?
They say that it requires, on its own it's like 300 something watts.
Okay.
But they recommend at least 750, and some sites say 850. So I'm going with the 850 to future proof it.
Yeah,
same.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. And I did a lot of research on PSUs, especially because that was the first thing I looked into. Looked at so many in-depth reviews, so much technical information, so much electrical engineering lingo that I never needed to know.
And it's going to be funny because the only 3080 that you're going to get is going to be bundled with a PSU.
Yeah, they sell that one on eBay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Use that money and the return of the 3080 to get your 3090.
There you go.
All part of the plan.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also been looking at motherboards and picking these guys' brains on CPU builds or PC builds.
I keep telling you, I just go online on Reddit and just do whatever Reddit tells me to do.
I don't want to do that.
I watch an unnecessarily high amount of PC build anything, and like the super technical shit, because I just get off to that.
Yeah, like Gamer Nexus with the
Oh, dude, I love Gamer Nexus.
30-minute videos on a PC case and all the technical information about it.
Oh my gosh!
You
pretty much have your A+ certification after building one.
Dude, that's not even like he's talking like air pressure and like how that affects cooling. And I'm like, that is insane. Great
thermodynamics.
Holy cow!
Yeah, good stuff.
All right.
Other than that, I've been playing Overwatch. Got into that with Matt recently. Dusting out the cobwebs, getting back into roles. I usually main tank. Matt usually does support. So, been enjoying that. Nothing else to say about that.
Well,
how's that run on your laptop, by the way?
It's good for the first hour or so. Then after that, it starts to tank and start to lag as the computer heats up and the keyboard gets hot.
Well, didn't it crash?
I'm not gonna lie.
What's that?
Didn't it crash on you a few times?
No, it didn't crash. Actually, it crashed once. Yeah.
Okay.
Other times I had to reset it because I was messing with the graphic settings. How's that, Richard?
I'm not gonna lie, I really do miss playing some Overwatch, and it sucks that it's pretty much dead on console. I'll have to pick it up on PC and play with you guys.
Yeah, it's still surprisingly active on PC.
Nice.
It is also very, very low requirements. Like I think the minimum requirements I'm looking at right now The minimum required you can get away with is an Intel HD graphics 4400. You can get away with
Wow.
integrated graphics.
Jeez.
Wow.
You ain't gonna do anything. It'd probably be on like 8-bit,
Which is
design, but it's there.
which is pretty crazy because my PC was struggling recently. I turned down all the graphical settings to the bare minimum, and it still looks good.
Are you serious?
It's that cartoony look. That's why Nintendo games still look good, even though they're running at like 720p, right?
Yeah, true.
It's probably also because Chris is playing off of a 480p tube TV. So, man, this looks great.
Wow, graphics.
Is Overwatch in Steam or?
No, it's on Battle.net, which is Blizzard's own storefront.
That's why I can't find it. Okay.
And speaking of Battle.net, Mark, what you been up to this week?
I'm also working on building a PC. I have most of my parts selected. In terms of actual things that I need to get the PC going, like PCU, RAM, motherboard, CPU, graphics, I'm looking at around $1,900.
Wow.
So not terrible. That's also not including any like the fancy things I want to do later. Like I want to get sleeved cables that are color matched, and I want to get like fancy RGB lights, but I'm going to do those later on. I would rather get the actual PC up and running so I can finally play Cyberpunk at above high with like 50 FPS.
And
also looking at a 5600X and a 3080. Oh yeah, that's about it.
How is Cyberpunk going, by the way?
I'm enjoying it. I know we're going to talk about it later, so I'm not going to get too in-depth into it. I do really enjoy the game. I do have some opinions on it that I'm sure a lot of other people do, but we'll get there when we get there. It's going to be another big topic.
Okay.
On top of that, I know me and Matt were talking about specifically Cold War.
Speaking of
I
Battle.net,
always have an itch. Yeah, I always have an itch for Call of Duty, and since I've been playing more PC, I actually haven't turned my Xbox on in like a couple weeks. I've really wanted to just get more into Call of Duty PC, and then with the sale that Cold War is $40 on Battle.net, it was super tempting. I'm glad I'm playing the free week though, because I think that's going to scratch the itch and make me not buy it. Because Cold War just feels so weird to me. It doesn't feel as refined as Modern Warfare to me.
I'm the exact opposite. I played a couple games of Cold War, man, and was thinking, this is what I wanted out of COD. I might pick it up.
It just feels so jank, and
Like
everybody complained about camping on Modern Warfare, but at least when you walked in Modern Warfare, you walked as if you had 200 pounds on your back and were carrying 4 million pounds of ammo and a massive LMG. So you're like clonk, 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 and I'm like, okay, cool. Someone's coming around the corner, or I don't know. It was just maybe the twitchier, quicker time to kill was more comfortable for me. But yeah. I don't know if I'll buy it or not yet.
The Cold War, when you're sprinting, it's just like hovering and gliding across the.
And you can't even hear people run around you. It's like almost silent. It feels
there is a perk for that.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
There might have been audio issues
It
at
reduced
launch,
for
but I think
time.
they've fixed that because it seemed
It does.
well. It seems
In
like
your defense, it does feel better.
Yeah,
Better than beta. Still not as good as Modern Warfare to me. But I'm going to keep playing games. Maybe it's just something I need to get used to because I played so much Modern Warfare. I think in recent memory, that's one of the games I played the most of, just hands down. I never finished Battle Passes, and I finished Modern Warfare's Battle Pass twice.
I think the only thing that's holding me back so far is there's only one zombie map at this point. That's the only thing stopping me from getting it right now.
I was going to tell you, like, you're like, yeah, there's only one zombie pack. Once this sale ends, it's going to be 60 until next year. Like, if you're going to buy it later on, because, like, if you're going to buy it in February, because that's when allegedly the next one's released, you'd be saving $20 buying it now versus buying it later.
See, that's why I'm probably going to end up picking it up I mean, we still have almost a month to buy it. So
might as well just get it now.
Yeah, might as well just get it now.
I'm redoing my position as your financial manager back like we were in high school.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I also played a few games of that and enjoyed it, and I'm probably gonna end up picking it up. That's soon.
I probably will, honestly.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be a solo zombie streamer, which I guess is fine.
You got a duo. Like I said, I'll probably pick it up because it's COD and it's $40, and I know I'll want to play zombies and things like that. So might as well buy it at 40 versus 60 later on.
You know, it's funny. I was gonna try and convince you to get it by saying, "Oh, well, Warzone," and then I remember that Warzone is just free to play anyways.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah. So close.
Don't worry, Matt. I'll already convince myself to buy the game. But yeah, that's about it for me, man.
All right. Two games that I want to talk about this week. I also played Overwatch with Chris, but the two that I want to talk about this week, one of them was Ikenfall, which is a like RPG Maker style RPG that's on Game Pass right now. That's about your sister is a witch at witching school, and then one day you stop hearing back from her, so you go there and you're a non-magic user, and then something weird's going on in the school, and it's like a magic power awakened within you, and so you're just kind of going around the school trying to figure out the mystery of what's going on and what's going on with your sister. What makes it different from like your typical RPG Maker is instead of just being turn-based combat like classic Final Fantasy games, in this one you're moving around on a grid, which I believe is like 3x20 or 4x20, and then you're hitting abilities positionally. So your, let's say, ability attacks in a X pattern, so you're going to position yourself diagonal to the enemy and then hit your attack. And you also have to time.
I actually wanted to try this.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it.
Really
The
good.
art style looks very Pokemon. At least when you're in the overworld, it looks like combat has a different look to it.
Yeah, I mean it's that RPG Maker look. So
yeah.
Does it almost feel like Final Fantasy Tactics, in a sense, like you have to be more tactical and strategic?
I never played Tactics.
What?
So,
oh man,
yeah.
That's such a freaking good game.
There's a gap of Final Fantasy between me and Tactics for some reason. So that's just one I just never picked up.
It's actually one of my favorites.
Especially
for advanced.
I should probably play a Final Fantasy game at some point in my life.
That would probably that would be a good thing to do. But I'm enjoying it so far, Chris. I mentioned to you, but you might be into this game because to save, you pet a cat, which refreshes you and makes you feel better.
I'm already buying this game.
And then you save.
I'm buying this game right now.
It makes you feel better.
It's Game Pass, so you don't need to, but you can download it. And I'm enjoying it.
I'm going to throw money at take my money.
Take my money. It's free
Donation
though.
button. Pay what you want. $60.
Exactly. This is obviously a AAA game right here.
Obviously.
Game of the year.
Oh my god.
I do like the character design. It's very simple and it kind of like Cartoon Network kind of look. Pretty cool.
I'm really enjoying it. It's the story is interesting so far, and I think they do some things. I don't want to spoil it, but there's I guess the first major fight does some cool things, and I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, that's Ikenfell. And the other game that I wanted to talk about this week, Among Us, released first on consoles on Switch. So I downloaded it and played it, and doing the task felt pretty good. It took me a bit to remember the buttons because the buttons on there are not the way I'm used to buttons looking. The biggest concern I would have with playing on the Switch is the keyboard is not very. It's just not very intuitive. I mean, if you've used a Switch at all, you know that there's a lag for when the keyboard opens and the keyboard shuts down. So it doesn't seem like you'd be able to text people as quickly as you would want to in discussion section. So I guess that'd be my hesitation of it. It's cool to have it.
So you could accidentally look pretty sus playing on Switch because it takes forever to type.
Because it would take you like 10 seconds to type something with either. Well, I mean, I guess you could type with your thumbs if you have it handheld, but it would take a while to text with the thumbsticks, and then also there's a lag between opens and closes. So yeah, it's funny because the game that I played on the Switch, nobody talked, and I think it's because everybody was Switch users.
Oh dang!
And so the entire discussion period,
Everyone was taking
the only thing
forever.
that was said was me and a question mark, and then it timed out.
Good collaboration, guys.
But it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
is it free on the Switch as well?
Nope, it is the $5 PC version.
Okay. I think I'd rather play on my phone.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, that's probably the route I would go. Unless you don't have a phone.
PC.
But you guys have phones, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't know. My daughter wanted to play Among Us. So
Oh, I
got it for
was
her
more
Switch.
so just referencing Blizzard again. I was bringing it right back around to Blizzard.
Ah, dang it.
Speaking of Blizzard.
Speaking of Blizzard,
Wait, before we move on from Matt, I looked at the Steam profile of Ikenfall.
yeah.
The last line on their sale page is cats period everywhere period.
Yes, that's
It's
true.
already in my cart.
Okay, no, I won't talk about it.
Cats everywhere.
That- if
That's
there-
funny.
Is there or is there not cats everywhere?
I mean, I want to say something. I don't know if it'd be a spoiler because
I don't care if they're real cats or not. If they look like cats, that's good enough for me.
you were walking towards a room, and then you're like, "Oh, look, a kitten," and then combat starts, and then the cat starts throwing glass shards at you and is like absolutely wrecking you. It was just the most random thing, and then you beat the cat and it just runs off. And you're like, okay, and then you go back to your door.
Do I want to fight cat?
That cat
I'm
attacked
gonna
me,
put it in my
man.
wish list and think about it.
It blocked me in that corner of that room. I had no choice. I had to fight out.
My cat attacked me too, but then I did a little very light, gentle bop in the head to show her that I am the alpha male.
Oh, it ran off.
And she has.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That cat was so OP
Yeah.
that all my fire spells it brushed off and ran off. Yeah, yes, there are cats everywhere. I mean, that's a save system, like I said, and then also just I guess there are a lot of cats.
So many cats.
All right,
That's good.
Richie, what you been up to this week?
So, I've been playing Cyberpunk, a lot of Cyberpunk, and Minecraft with my niece, which is pretty fun. Haven't played Minecraft in a long time.
Pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really cool because my niece, she's just getting into games. And it's really cool because I'm kind of teaching her everything that I know and showing her the way of Minecraft. And when I was in college, I had a weekend. I didn't do anything. And I stayed building all weekend. And I built like a massive to scale Coliseum, Golden Gate Bridge, this whole entire Sky City. I showed her it, and she's like freaking out. I was like, "How the heck is this possible? What the heck?" I was like, "Yep, this is top tier level stuff." So you're learning from the best. So that's pretty cool. And playing a lot of Cyberpunk. I don't want to go into too much detail because we will be talking about it later in the podcast. But I do love the game, but my opinion has changed from the beginning. Going in from first starting, and now I'm probably around 10, 12 hours into it. It's like Marc as well. So yeah, still a great game.
So I guess later on we're more talking about the outside of the game stuff for Cyberpunk. So I guess if you guys want to talk about your opinions about Cyberpunk, the game itself, I think this would be the best spot to do it.
I would say a lot of our opinions on it will probably, I guess it's not necessarily about performance, which I think a lot of this is on our story.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, I think, does also cater to people wanting refunds of it based on expectations and things that were set forth as well.
Mm-hmm.
Performance aside, because that's what me and Rich were talking about prior to everybody getting on, was where expectations were set by CD Projekt Red and what we received.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Then if Richie's done talking about Cyberpunk here, Richie can lead us into our first topic of the day.
Real quick,
So, what were you gonna say?
this little thing I just noticed on the stream. Can you make me face inward? I'm like facing outward compared to everyone else.
Because
It looks
you
kinda
hate
awkward.
us.
I mean, I guess I could rotate.
Why don't
Just
you
like-
just move,
Oh,
Chris?
nope, that's not what I meant to do.
Nope,
Yeah, like
I'll
before
see
when
in a bit.
Mark and I were facing opposite directions and he turned us inward.
Dang.
There you go, Chris.
Look at
Facing-
that upside down Mad Mega gaming sign.
All right, Chris, you're facing inward now.
Sweet,
Dang,
I
it's
can't
upside
see it,
down.
but all right,
A
trust you.
huge lag on YouTube and Twitch. It's hilarious.
Oh, Chris is in Australia. Nice.
You should leave him upside down.
Oh, I'm upside down now. There you go.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Oh, actually, that time I didn't mean to do that. Oh no! Oh no! Things are breaking live. Richy, save us.
So, okay. So, anyways,
Man.
since we've been talking about food a lot this whole entire time, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Did you guys know that Hallmark will be releasing a Mario Lopez special as Colonel Sanders himself? A Kentucky Fried Chicken Is it a romantic comedy or I don't even know? It's a Christmas special.
It's a
Oh
Christmas
my
special,
God.
I believe if it's on Lifetime, it's going to be like a romantic comedy.
And most likely some woman in distress, and Mario Lopez is going to save her.
Furthermore,
As Colonel Sanders.
the heiress to
What is
Kentucky
going on?
Fried Chicken. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to keep moving along with this other ridiculous topic.
Yes, please save me,
Okay.
guys. Just keep the broadcast trucking. Things are.
Oh, dude, we'll keep. Dude, I'll vamp all day about KFC.
Heck yeah. Oh,
So-
real quick.
Yeah.
Are we still talking about KFC?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Okay. What's better, KFC sandwich, chicken sandwich, or Chick-fil-A?
I've
Chick-fil-A.
never had a KFC chicken sandwich.
What? That was like the huge thing. What was it, last year or 2 years ago?
That was Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Popeyes. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
You
I need-
should be. You're
I
bad.
need
You
to
should feel
log
bad.
out of here. I need to log out.
The answer is still not KFC. Yeah, my answer is KFC, but no, my answer is Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A
Actually,
by far.
I'm not that into Chick-fil-A anymore.
What? Why?
Every
What
time
happened?
Every time I get them, the
You get
bread's
gassy?
soggy. The chicken's
I
always
will-
dry.
yeah.
That
I
must be
mean,
just the
I-
place you're going.
I haven't had dry chicken yet. I will say the bread is always subpar at Chick-fil-A, and I've enjoyed the bread better at Popeyes. However, I don't know if you guys know this. The sauce that comes on the spicy chicken from Popeyes, that's the spicy part. The chicken itself is the same,
Mm.
and I don't like that.
Interesting.
I want the chicken to be spicy.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
want
be
to have
nice.
to put on the sauce that would be spicy.
Yeah.
Would the Popeyes chicken sandwich. I got it during the first wave, and it was
Oh, before
incredible.
they changed the ingredients?
Then they changed it
Ah.
because it was on hiatus for like a couple months, and they came back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. Grab some for my wife too. And a bit into it, I was like, ugh, what
It
happened to
was
this thing?
that different. Holy
It was very.
cow.
The first one was absolutely incredible. It was like the juiciest chicken, the great
Wow.
balance
blew
with the
their load.
batter. It was huge on the patty. And when it came back, it was way too salty. It was way too crispy. It was like to the point where it was kind of hurting my gums when I bit into it.
Wow. I wonder why they changed
Um,
it.
The patties were smaller. But the buns were still toasted on the inside, which made it, I think, superior to the Chick-fil-A buns.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember when when that whole thing happened, I wasn't able to get the first wave, but as soon as the second wave came, I was insanely disappointed. I didn't know that they actually changed the ingredients, and people were like, "No, it's completely different." And it's like, that's weird. Why would they do that? They're
It's
shooting
funny you
themselves
talk
in the
about
foot.
being the second wave. Here in Japan, my exchange has a Popeyes, right? They didn't have the chicken sandwich until a couple months ago, like maybe like 6 months
Wow.
ago,
Holy
and
cow.
the line was outside the next. Because also, especially because of social distancing, there's now additional 6 feet between like individual parts.
my
It
God.
was like down the road, and they had a sign no more than like 2 or 3 chicken sandwiches per person.
Jeez.
Dude, it was hilarious on how much these people went crazy about this chicken sandwich. And I got it. It was good, especially since you can't get a chicken sandwich like that here. I don't have a Chick-fil-A to go to or a KFC to go to.
I mean, you do have
Lawson's?
Family Mart.
Lawson's
have
El
Lawson's.
Chiqui.
Yeah.
You get the buns. I'm not sure if they still do that, but
I haven't
Wait,
seen the
so-
buns. I'm sure I could just buy buns from like the bread aisle of the same Lawson.
You're right. good.
Is Family Mart still a thing over there?
Yeah. It's not as prevalent as I remember it being in Okinawa.
Is that more of an Oki thing?
I see like 2 to 3 Lawsons and 7-Elevens per one singular Family Mart, but they're still here.
But they still sell a spicy chicken there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite
Oh,
place to go for
man.
spicy chicken.
That I will say beats freaking Chick-fil-A like crazy.
Oh, so
My gosh.
Man, we have derailed so hard.
gaming podcast. KFC has a console.
Game podcast, KFC, Lawson's, very specifically a Japan convenience store.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to our first topic, and this is gaming / movie related. So Monster Hunter was a movie that was randomly, I guess, there was news about it not so long ago, and it never really made it like headline news. I've never even really seen a lot of commercials for it, and then it just randomly drops today, I think. Everything I've heard was the movie is pretty bland, but it has Tony Jaa, so I mean,
Does
that
have Tony Jaa?
as long as he's kneeing something in the face, that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
And Tony Jaa's the guy from the Amok Thai Warrior and the Protector.
I mean, I feel
Was
like he
he in-
has to knee a Rathalos by the end of the movie, right?
Oh heck yeah, that's how he kills it.
Was Tony Jaa in the Expendables?
Mm.
No,
Yes.
Jet Li.
I'm Googling it.
Wait,
Okay, Jet Li.
Was it Tony Jaa?
I know Jet Li for sure was in there, but so probably not Tony Jaa.
IMDb.
What did I watch with Tony Jaa in the gas
Give me like a
station?
couple minutes. I got this.
It's Tony Jaa Expendables. Let's see. No, he is.
Oh, he
He's in
is.
The Expendables. Holy
Yeah, I was right.
I need to watch that again.
I need to rewatch
Is
that.
it the second one or is it the third one?
Jeez. Wait.
Oh my god, Monster Hunter. It's gonna be such a. I hope that it is
Is
so
this-
impactful that he knees a Rathalos in the face that they add a new weapon to Monster Hunter.
He has blades in
And-
his knees. He does a
And it's bracers and a knee, like a knee pad essentially with a spike on it.
Dude, I hope like the Rathalos is just on the ground, just trying to die. He jumps on a tree, does a triple front flip, holds his knees back.
It shows the Rathalos on the floor, cuts high because he's standing on top of like a random pillar, and then he says, "Show me your moves," and then front
Show me
flips,
your
and
moves.
then Sweet Spot knees it.
Can't forget the rocket boosters on the bottom of his feet for extra impact.
Is this a
And that-
theater
Oh my
movie or a streaming movie? Where would I be able to watch this movie?
Hmm.
Yes.
It just got released, so you could get it illegally and not pay. Or
Not quite the route I wanted to take.
but don't do that because that's bad. But you'll most likely have to rent it. It's probably $20 to rent, honestly.
$20?
Well, let's look that up because I want to
Yeah.
know.
Is that how much
And
a brand new
I'm
movie
already
cost?
looking.
It also has Mila Jovovich, and she's the main actress in Resident Evil, which that's actually one of my favorite zombie films.
I really like the first one. That was really well done.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
really good.
IMAX.
It is currently in theaters. However, the film is available for pre-order on Amazon Prime Video and Vudu, which will release on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not even out.
Oh man,
And
Christmas Day is
You
loaded.
can own the film for $20, not rent it for $20. Which
Mm.
means, honestly, if you gave it a month or two, you could probably rent it off of Google Play Store and Apple TV for a little bit less than that. Because I've never
Yeah.
watched the movie more than once, except for the John Wicks.
So Christmas Day is Wonder Woman
Oh,
1984, Soul, and now Monster Hunter.
You said 1984?
I also hate that people release these movies on Christmas Day. Like, give people the day off. Come on.
It's supposed to be the day that you can get away from the
Yeah.
family.
It does suck for those people. I'm not gonna lie. I feel really guilty now that you said that. Anyways, one of my family traditions, but pre-COVID, was Christmas Day. We would go see a movie at the movie theater. But now I feel like a douche.
That's why I just shopped during Cyber Monday. Don't nobody need to be in an office for Cyber Monday, and I don't have to leave my house,
Seriously.
which is more important than everything.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie though, I'm gonna miss going to the theater this year. Like, gosh, freaking COVID sucks. I hate it.
The only thing I miss is the popcorn from the theater, and if they just had like a pick up some popcorn and take it home, that's exactly what I would.
Go. I was gonna say go to Target, but you're not.
Yeah, don't have a Target here.
Nope.
If you spray
Actually,
coconut oil on the popcorn, you'll get a similar taste texture to the movie theater popcorn.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil?
Yeah, because it's super
I have
fatty.
avocado oil.
And
I
it
don't
tastes
have
like butter.
I think most movie theaters have artificial butter, and artificial butter is coconut based.
Dang.
If I recall
It's like
correctly.
coconut and salt?
Something like that. Because I know I can get, I can eat buttered
probably
popcorn at some
margarine too,
theaters.
isn't it?
So what it is they pop it in, because I googled it right now. They do pop it in coconut oil for the texture, and because I guess it just kind of makes it lighter. But the flavor that they have is flavacol, which is a powdered seasoning that adds that yellow color and salty taste. That's not necessarily the coconut oil. That's
Okay.
what that is.
Cool.
But I prefer watching movies at home anyway.
I do too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
It
don't have
costs
that parents
it's
on.
so much money to go to the movie theater.
But it's
I
worth
have
it.
drinks,
The
popcorn.
experience is so amazing. I mean, of course, you're spending $120, but the experience is worth it.
I prefer
least
ordering
Yeah,
dinner
I
than
got a-
watching a movie.
I got a projector
at
at home. I got some good
Oh,
headphones.
Exactly.
Just blast those.
I don't have to have pants on, more importantly.
Yep. You can do that at the theater too. But if you get caught,
You'll just get arrested. But it's all right.
I have a funny story. I feel so bad. Well, it's
You
not
got
funny
arrested
for the
for no
person. So my wife and I.
Oh god.
So there's in my movie theater there's like a VIP section for like 21 and older, and so you have like your own personal seats you pick, and so we went early. There was this couple, or I'm not sure, I don't know who it was. There's just two people there chilling, and one person had a cast propped up on the front, and so my wife and I were going to find our chair, and accidentally stepped on a person's foot
Oof.
that has the cast on, and
You stepped on their broken ass foot.
Yeah, and then kept on walking, and I'm like, oh no, this is awkward. Keep walking. And I just hear him in the background. Oh.
Oh no.
We sit down all the way in the other end, and they're just looking at us like,
you're just like
it was so awkward. I'm just like,
Just holding up the bag of popcorn.
don't look at them. If
Oh,
we
man.
don't see them, they can't see us.
Chris,
Freaking awkward.
2 words.
Alamo Draft House. Yes.
My boy. Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's such a good
I'm
place.
not a big movie theater person, but if I go to a movie theater, you best believe I'm going to Alamo Draft House.
I've seen those.
yeah.
What is it? What's so good about it?
It is
Very
one.
nice.
They have a lot of strict rules about movies, so like, people like get kicked out of the theater routinely for being on their phone,
Wow.
for being loud, for doing any of that kind of stuff. And 2, they serve great food. They have so many things on draft. They have mixed drinks. They have popcorn, and it's all like you sit down in your seat, which is assigned to you. You know, you sign up for it just like AMC does nowadays. But they've been doing that for years. You sit down, and there's a menu. You open your menu up. You write down what you want on this piece of paper, and you just stick it down in front of you. And they come
What?
pick it up, and they just drop it off.
Holy
Alcohol,
cow.
all this stuff. And they also have like the higher end like little booths or like reclining seats and things like that. But it's awesome. I
need to go-
love Alamo Draft
I need
House.
to go to one.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to
I always
too.
got the fish and chips were good.
Fish and
At
chips
some
are
point they
great.
removed it. I'm not sure if they brought it back.
I don't know either.
And the pecan porter milkshake and the Guinness milkshake.
Yo, yes.
Wait, they're
And
actual
then you
so
get
good.
pizza.
beer
Yeah.
milkshakes? Wow. That's not
And it makes sense because they're so heavy on the beer and the flavor that it makes sense in
Yeah.
a milkshake.
wow.
Oh,
And
man.
they're malty anyway, so it goes great with like chocolate.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So good.
Dude, we need to stop getting so
So we're
Off
Mad
topic.
Mega Gaming, a video game podcast.
The foodie podcast.
We are a
way out of topic.
we
What?
are a pop culture podcast, which
Pop
primarily focuses
Porn.
I like that.
in gaming.
Uh-huh.
Bam. That's all I got, guys. I don't know what else to say about that.
All right.
Um,
That's a podcast.
Hope you guys like this episode of Mad Mega Gaming. Just kidding. All right. Well, what's the next topic?
let's
Well,
go
what's the
ahead.
first
going into-
topic?
Let's go
What's
to
the first topic?
Chris's topic.
Okay.
Well,
this
actually, hold on.
topic.
Okay. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is now selling XP boost. That's BS. I don't like when single player games add this kind of stuff because
Correct.
from what I've seen, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like a 50 to 60 hour game, and I don't know. I think it's crap. Also, from
Yeah,
what
I'm
I
not-
understand, it's not actually necessary to do because you can get over leveled from doing side quests pretty quickly. But
I
guess
think-
I'm not gonna lie. Or you want to go first, Mark?
Well, I agree with Matt a lot because I think what will happen is if I wasn't afraid they're going to start taking advantage of that where people think this is okay and then they're just going to anticipate people will spend extra money to be able to play a regular single player game. If that wasn't taken into consideration, I would think it's okay because, you know, I don't have a ton of time putting a single player game, but knowing these companies, they're not here for us really. They're here to make money, and that's what their job is. I don't blame them necessarily. That everybody's trying to make money nowadays, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to make the curve too steep to earn XP on purpose to then sell XP boosts.
It's just a start.
Yeah, I think it's a bad direction to go in because I think it'll lead to poor practices.
I think this is something that Ubisoft has done, and I think they've usually done it in the same manner where they drop XP boost after launch. I think Odyssey
Yeah.
and I believe Origin also had XP boost that you could buy.
I will say, oh my gosh, I seriously hate how every single gaming company or majority of them are doing this nowadays, where it's you pay to cheat. I see it. I see it all the time with MMORPGs. Now single player games. It seems like it's very annoying. I don't know. I just like how gaming used to be, where you had to earn to be where you wanted to be.
I wouldn't care if they wanted to spend, if you like, hey, $10 and you can have an infinite life cheat. Cool, because that's only affecting them. And if that's how they want to play, because they want to be for the cinematics, they don't want the challenge, that's fine. That's why people play on easy. That's why easy exists. But I think this specifically is going to affect more people than just the people who want like a faster route of getting to the end game.
Yeah.
Because now the default will be the really steep curve.
And
on
actually,
purpose.
there's a good example is pretty much all the mobile games.
Yep.
They do that to where it's you could play for free and not buy a dime or buy anything, but it's gonna take you forever to get where everyone else is, or you can just drop in a couple hundred, bam, you're a huge cash whale. So
Speaking of free
Yeah.
to play, go ahead, Chris.
Jump the gun there. Hold on.
I had a transition. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm kind of in both sides right now because on one hand, it is a single player game. I don't care what you do with your time or your money. That's your
Right.
choice. But at the same time, like Mark said, it's a slippery slope, right? Just like mobile games, like Richy said. Like I play a bunch of mobile games, free to play games, and it's artificially hard to make you buy the in-game currency to
Correct.
get the boosters or the extra lives or whatever it is. But not only that, I mean, it could be expanded to different parts of the game.
Mhm.
Like, hey, there's a store for better armor, better weapons, not just XP boosts. And it could just become a microtransaction city that traditionally have stayed out of single player games. So I think it's kind of a dangerous path to be on or to let companies move towards.
Right.
Um,
And
yeah.
I wouldn't even consider it in the same level as like these mobile games. Like a lot of these mobile games are free, and the way they make their money is via these like gotchas or things like that. AFK Arena. I know Matt plays that a lot. I played that for a bit. Most of its money comes from people who are buying these extra items in order to get other things, and that's fine. Like you can play free. It's going to take you longer, and you will never be as high level or as I guess efficient as someone who pays a ton of money into it. But that's okay because the game itself was free. So now at this point, I'm spending $60 to get Valhalla, and probably an additional $10 to then have to buy an XP boost to then be able to play this game in a reasonable amount of time as a grown ass adult with obligation and bills and jobs and things like that.
AFK Arena is a good game. But the only way to get to the higher tops of that is pay $100 to buy this character because this character is top tier, and I haven't spent any money on it. But when you look at that, it's like $20 off of what's his name, Ainz Al Ghul from Overlord. Like he's like top tier right now. You can buy him for $80 because he's on sale.
He's in AFK Arena.
Ainz Al Ghul. Yeah.
Wow, that's so random.
Him and Albedo were in there recently. Markiplier had a promotion where his character was just a skin. I don't know. I think that was a temporary thing.
Yeah.
And I believe I just saw the announcement. Oh, Persona characters I think are coming to it soon.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
They had
Ezio from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. But yeah, just things like that. Like if it's a free game that's literally makes its money from this, that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
a paid game that I'm paying full AAA price does not make sense to me to get these kind of basic necessities in.
Well, it is also, it can be frustrating even if it's a free-to-play game. So like a MOBA, for example, if it's just aesthetics, I don't care. You can spend as much money as you want to get a cool costume. But
we're not we definitely don't all have $1,000 in Smite.
Yeah. But if it gives you any kind of advantage in a multiplayer game, then that's when it crosses the line.
Hey,
hopefully it doesn't get to that point.
You guys want to talk about Smite for a bit? I got some Smite news if you guys didn't see this.
Sure.
I'm always down for some Smite news, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, this one, depending on how you look at it. So Smite, the main game we play, is going to be adding this new feature that they call... Okay, I don't know what it's called. But
I trust it.
Okay, I don't know what it's called. But there's going to be a new button in the menu called Earn Rewards. If you click on that, you'll be given the option to watch ads for viewer points and other such rewards. This is completely optional. There will never be unskippable ads in the game that you don't purposefully click to, but that's something that they're adding, and I'm just curious what you guys think about that.
I'm fine with that if it's not intrusive and if it's an option. It's a good way to support the devs and get extra perks for yourself.
Because all my gems aren't what enough, Chris? I'm funding Smite just choice. Based off of my wallet.
Herd of whales over here.
Yeah.
I wonder how much we get for watching ads.
So you'll get viewer points, which go towards like Dunkfather, Zeus, and the Freya Bride Thor skin. You also, it says you also get things like boosters and Odyssey chest if you watch a bunch of ads. But yeah, I guess the way that they're trying to spin this is we get some ad money, and the newer players will get some quick rewards. I guess as long as it's not like on the screen, like, hey, click here to watch an ad, then I personally don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Does anyone else watch SPL besides me and Matt? I don't know if you still watch SPL as much, Matt.
I try to, but
okay. Did you see the season 8 organizational update on SPL?
Wait, like they're restructured? I saw that they're doing online for Worlds. I didn't see anything past that.
Yes. But on top of that, beginning in season 8, they're all going to be managed by high-res studios. They're not going to be like owned and organized by specific entities anymore. That's going to be no longer a thing. However, organizations can still sponsor them. They just don't own them anymore. So I thought that was an interesting change.
If you've seen the history of some of the orgs that Smite has had in the past, I think this is a really good move because there have been
It is
some,
a good move.
Yeah, I think that's a really good move.
And all players are going to be based in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wait, so they can't even just travel; they have to actually be there.
Let me see. As of the last, it just seems that they will be based in Atlanta. It does not say that they have to necessarily live in Atlanta.
Okay, because I know some European players
in or near Atlanta, but that's about it. Like that should be fine.
Okay, because I think I did see that. I mean, before European players would come for like LANs and stuff like that,
right?
Or they would come for playing, and then they would just fly back. But okay, I think that's a good change.
That's what I think it is.
I think the middlemen sometimes have been just big issues for players, so I'm happy about this.
Yeah. Also, guaranteed player salaries. $46,666 per year.
That's not bad.
Great, not bad. It's not bad to just play a game, and you can also just make extra money via sponsorships, merchandise, and in-game content sales, things like that. So, especially if you're top tier, if you're fine okay and you stream on Twitch, you post on YouTube, you get a sponsorship because you're fine okay.
Yeah,
you're probably making pretty decent money, especially for just playing Smite. So.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess back on topic again. To Chris.
To Chris.
Right. I was actually curious about what that transition was they were trying to make. Speaking of free-to-play games.
I was trying to lead into Smite.
Okay. Yeah,
I was very confused too.
Speaking of pay-to-play games.
Yeah. Speaking of.
So I'm not sure if you guys have been tracking this story about Devotion, the Taiwanese game. So back in 2019, a Taiwanese company called Red Candle Games came out with a game called Devotion, which is a horror game set in, I'm assuming, Taiwan. And the game was pulled pretty quickly after it released because players noticed there was a meme in the game that made fun of President Xi Jinping, which is the Chinese president, and it compared him to Winnie the Pooh and called him dumb or something like that. So
so random.
People started to downvote or review bomb this game and complain so much that the company eventually pulled the game, or maybe they're forced to take it off the store by China. I'm not really sure.
I think the publisher who made the contract with Steam pulled it. I don't think it was the devs themselves. However that situation works out.
Yeah, so the comparison between President Xi Jinping and Winnie the Pooh has been ongoing for years now. I'm not sure why he's so offended by it and why it's to the point where Winnie the Pooh is pretty much banned in China.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Oh, bother.
But yeah, recently, the developers of this game, Red Candle Games, said the game is coming back to GOG.
Oh, so GOG was the one who announced it. I think that's important.
Okay.
GOG was the one who announced that the game was going to be released there.
So it was finally coming to the West. People were going to be able to play this game that was pretty anticipated because it looks really interesting and unique, kind of sets it apart from other Western horror games. And according to GOG, they pulled it from the store and it's not available anymore based on complaints from gamers, aka China.
Gamers TM.
So, yeah.
Man.
So now we have China influencing video games once again. I'm not sure what else happened in recent years, but Rainbow Six had this issue. And it happens in other mass media, like movies, Hollywood especially. China has a strong grip on Hollywood because the market in China is so huge, and it's a huge portion of their income and earnings for the product. So
I'm looking up the devotion meme. I don't understand it because it's like a yellow paper. And how is this Winnie the Pooh, and how is it making fun of him?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, let me check.
Yes. I also see Winnie the Pooh. I see a lot of characters I don't understand.
I don't know.
There's 69. There's a person sitting down Indian style with a weird hat.
Well, there are Chinese characters on there. It could mean something. I see at least 4 characters on there.
And then the yin yang symbol on the bottom.
Yeah. For some reason I thought it was that.
I think what needs to happen is we need a ja 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 with them. However you say ja 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 in Chinese.
The symbols say Xi Jinping Winnie the Pooh. In an ancient style of Chinese writing.
I think you're making that up.
That's really funny.
That's what this Taiwanese newspaper says.
Yeah, I'm reading the same article right now, but I was just like, I'm looking at both the picture and what you said, and I'm just like, I think you're lying.
Oh man.
So, Red Candle said the inclusion of the poster that mocked China's president was purely an accident, and apologized for including the artwork, which translated to, and this is according to Polygon's article, Xi Jinping Winnie the Pooh moron.
Okay.
That sounds very accidental.
Well, my guess would be this is probably not somewhere super prominent, and that someone, and someone on the dev team probably put it, but because the game published it, they're like, all right, now it's your fault, because that's how it always rolls.
I get the feeling
it's never the bottom person's fault. It's the top person who said okay.
I think it might have just been placeholder, and they completely forgot to take it out of the game before it launched.
Or someone just wanted to pull a sneaky. Yeah, never know.
Easter egg.
Just like the movie Two Man and a Baby, they inserted a fake ghost hiding behind curtains. Everyone thought it was a real ghost trapped inside the movie.
Like, if Chris was my boss and I was to make sensitive political jokes, it would not be my fault. It'd be Chris's fault, because that's how that works.
Because I okayed it and it happened under my purview. Yeah.
Yep.
So some quote.
A great position to be in, by the way.
Hey, boss, make the big bucks though.
Exactly.
So Red Candle has added in a statement, "It is our genuine hope that everyone can remain calm and shift the focus back to the game's core message, which can be obtained through playing the experience of devotion." The whole team of Red Candle Games bears the responsibility of this awful, unprofessional mistake. It is not Red Candle's vision to secretly project extensive ideology, nor is it to attack any person in the real world. So yeah, that's their official statement.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about this game.
Yeah.
It was definitely on my list at one point, and I just kind of forgot about it because it's obviously lost in the ether now. But I've heard nothing but great things until it was review bombed.
Yeah, I was super interested in it, and I just happened to miss buying it before they pull it from Steam. So I've been wanting to get back into it, and I saw this whole thing happen in real time. I saw GOG's message, "Hey, we're releasing Devotion." I was like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna buy that as soon as it releases." And then like an hour or two later, never mind. Oh, that was just super frustrating. So I hope it makes its way to the West somehow. From what I was reading, there's some Steam contract issues that's preventing them from being able to release it on Steam. So that might also be holding them back from releasing it in other areas. So I'm keeping an eye out. I really want to play this game at some point, and I guess I'm just gonna have to keep waiting.
Yeah, I mean, developers are also put in a very tough position when they're dealing with China, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously, no one wants to, kowtow to China every time they don't like something and make you change up their game or the release or any kind of conditions involved in the game. But it is a huge market, and that's going to be a significant portion of your income. So
Yeah,
it's tough.
I mean, we're probably not even notice that games are making decisions behind the scenes. Oh, let's take out this thing because it might offend China, right? Like, wasn't any of that game? There's that game series where you're fighting against North Korea. I could have sworn that it was originally against China, and then they changed it to North Korea because
China that was a
complained.
movie.
Was it a movie? No, I thought there was a game. Look it up.
It could be a game or a game too, but there's also a movie. I forgot what it's called. It's a remake of an old movie where I think the Russians invaded, and this squad of teenagers fight back.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. Yep. The original, before it was released, used to be China. Then they changed it to North Korea. Because China said absolutely not.
The old one was China.
What about the new one?
Oh, I haven't seen the new one.
Well, then I guess the old one was China. Then they changed it again. But I heard they had to go back and change all the flags, and post edit, and make all the flags, the patches, and everything.
The new Red Dawn in 2012. While in post-production, the invading army and antagonist were changed from Chinese to North Korean in order to maintain access to the Chinese box office. Though the film was still not released in China.
Wow.
That sounds familiar.
That is funny. Can you imagine wasting all that money?
The name of the game I was looking at was Homefront, which, yes, was intended originally to be against communist China, but were later replaced by a unified Korea.
Isn't Homefront at the time was supposed to be like the biggest game?
It was supposed to be a massive game, yeah.
What happened with that? Like, was it really that big, or was it like sectors, like cluster servers? How was it? Do you guys know?
I mean, the reviews are fine. Looking at it, Metacritic had it as 70. Review scores are kind of in that range as well.
It'd be cool if it was a game with like 1,000 people.
Wait, are you talking about Mag?
No, not really.
Oh yeah, Mag.
What's Mag?
That was like 250 people, something.
Mag.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. I played this one.
I've never played this. I didn't even know it existed.
Most players in a console FPS with 256 players.
Was that on PS3 or PS4?
PS3. That's well ahead of its time. 2010, having 256 simultaneous FPS players.
Yeah, we don't even have anything like that right now. Like, what the heck?
256. Do we have anything that's super? I guess we don't, do we?
No.
Do you guys remember the game called Warhawk on PS3?
Was that a Tom Clancy game?
No, it was a strictly multiplayer war game where you can play as ground troops, airplanes, or tanks. I remember when that first came out, it was a huge deal because it was a massive multiplayer game server.
Pretty much like
and it features up to 32 players, which is nothing compared to Mag. But at the time when it released, it was like, wow, 32 players.
Was Mag the game where you'd have people who would be in charge of like, I don't know the names of the sizes, but like, oh, you're in charge of these 5 squads, and was that game or is that a different game?
I never picked up Mag.
So I don't remember because it's been literally over 10 years.
That's games crazy. From almost 10 years ago. We got one last topic here.
Wow, that's actually very crazy to think about.
I'm trying.
But Cyberpunk.
Yeah, who wants to talk about Cyberpunk?
Ooh.
So the news specifically on Cyberpunk is everybody and their mother is offering refunds, especially on these first gen consoles. The biggest deal, I think, is the fact that Sony removed it specifically from their online store. So if you want to buy it on Sony now, if you haven't already bought it, you have to buy a hard copy. You can't buy it digitally currently. If you have the game, you still have access to the game, and you will still get the support from the developers via updates, but you cannot currently buy a new copy via the online store. And I think that's a pretty big deal. I think that says a lot for the performance on these first generation like fat PlayStation or fat Xbox.
Yeah, and then the Xbox store is offering expanded refunds to people who want it.
Yep.
And then I think the craziest story is that Best Buy is accepting refunds even if you've already opened and played the game.
Are you serious? Yeah. Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I don't blame them. I don't have a top line PC. A 2070 isn't top of the line. You know, I'm I'm 2 generations behind. But on like medium to high settings, I should be able to play at more than 45 frames. So I think the game is big, but I think it's also fairly poorly optimized.
Yeah, I mean my laptop meets recommended specs, and I have everything set to low and off, and I'm still barely hitting 50 to 60.
Yeah. I don't expect me to ever, especially with my setup, to hit 4K 60. But I would think at 1440 medium, I'd be able to hit 100 plus, which I can't.
Yeah.
And then me and Rich were talking about it. I'm not sure if Chris has done this much looking into it or research prior hand, but like on top of the poor performance on these base models, I think a lot of people are really upset with the game as well because of the promises that we received of the game prior to launch. Even a couple months ago, it was actually something I watched today because I was trying to do some research for this topic specifically. It made it seem like, hey, you can choose to be a nomad, and this is what the game is. But now that I've played the first intro part of the game, a lot of these cutscenes from Nomad, from Corpo, from Street Kid are all from parts after you integrate into the main story. The main choice that they made it sound like was such a big deal really only gives you a few dialogue changes and a different intro into the game, and that's it.
Huh.
Yeah, I've put in about 12 hours of gameplay. I've been doing a lot of side quests and just got through the intro. One of the big things I was looking forward to was the side quests. I'm a huge fan of The Witcher 3. And that was one of my favorite things was you'll go into a side quest, you'll literally forget that you're not even playing the main story because this side quest goes down a rabbit trail, has an insane story, and you get so captivated by it. And I was like, all right, they're gonna do the same thing with this game. And they were saying stuff like that. Like the side quests are gonna be so captivating, and it's not like that, not even a little bit. It's pretty much like, hey, V, you gotta go this place, take down this person. He's a drug lord. And you go there, kill him. That's it. You leave, you come back, and then the person has their shop back. And you don't really hear anything much. Like there's literally no storytelling at all. And to me, that's a huge disappointment. I was really looking forward to more storytelling, and there's not storytelling in side quests. Now, the actual main story is really cool, but besides that, there really is no storytelling in side quests. So,
yeah, another thing, the world is supposed to feel so alive and so rich, and there is a lot of detail. There's the map size and amount of detail they crammed into it is really impressive, and I mean, it didn't run very well, but it still looks pretty good. But as I'm walking through the city, I mean, after I got past the initial wow factor of wow, this place looks great. Look at all this detail. Look at all these commercials playing in the background. It just felt like a very empty, lifeless, very robotic city.
Yes.
Which I mean, it kind of fits the theme of the future, but
Everybody's robots.
Not in the right way.
Yeah. And I think what it was like I was telling Rich is like all these places are crowded, which is awesome, like a technical feat to have all these assets in one visual area. Cars driving, motorcycles, people, shops, ads. But all the people, all the cars, they just feel like they're on rails, I guess would be the way to say it. There's no thought behind them. There's no interaction with them. If you point a gun at one of them, that person just kind of does like the hand over the head. Whereas a comparison for a game that's been across 3 generations now, you go to GTA 5, you point a gun at someone. If they're in a car, they're going to drive away. They're trying to run you over. You point a gun at a person in real life, they're going to cower, they're going to run away. It just felt like their NPC AI was much more refined versus what we're getting now. And that game's been released for as long as freaking CD Projekt Red had this in development.
Yep.
And that was another thing. They're promising that the world would feel extremely alive. And they even said, yeah, even the garbage, that was a specific place everywhere, and every single garbage is unique. And we actually took pictures of garbage and copied that. And it was like, a lot of it is closed bags, and you don't really see the unique garbage. And on top of that, it's not really alive. You go to a market, and people are standing around doing the same repetitive talk. Now, you go to like Red Dead Redemption, the most recent one that came out, literally every single NPC has their own life. You could literally follow a guy. He'll go wake up in the morning, go feed his cows, go do other stuff. And then later at night, he goes back home, eats dinner. Like you could literally follow that. He literally has a life, and he does that every single day. In this game, no, they're just walking. And if you follow them, sometimes they'll just disappear. If you punch them, sometimes they'll disappear. Yeah. It's still amazing.
The dialogue options was something that really disappointed me. When I first got in the bar scene, I'm not sure if that was. Oh, I think it's a Street Kid exclusive, but. I should pull out my mic. Okay. Yeah. So when I talked to someone, I was expecting some kind of nice dialogue, some cool, voice options or dialogue options, but you talk to them, you're like, piss off, man. Talk to them again. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Talk to them again. Piss off, man. It's like,
yep.
It's like very low effort, just getting the bare minimum, just make them say something. I was very disappointed at that.
Way less than Skyrim. Skyrim, they had a lot of terrible voice actors, but at least those terrible voice actors said a lot of stuff, and it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had restarted my game because I was going to play as myself in Cyberpunk, but the dialogue options that I was given just did not fit the way I wanted to play my character. Like I wanted to be kind of more the like quiet badass type, but it just seemed like
the really side?
Huh?
The Nomad side?
No, I played well, I mean like just the dialogue options just didn't seem to give me a lot of range. It was mostly V being V as opposed to me playing as myself. Right?
Very linear.
Yeah. And like, in Mass Effect, you have 2 paths, but you can make 2 very distinct paths. But at least from what I played in the early parts of the game, I was like, I don't want my V to play like this. So I started over just so I could be like, all right, well, I'm not playing as myself. I'm just going to play as V. And I just made a new character. And then I eventually just returned it because I just could not get the GeForce Now stuff. I thought was cool, but it didn't work as well. I think it might be because a lot of people are trying to play it in GeForce Now. And so I tried to refund the game. I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Yeah, I definitely see there's a lot of compounding facts on this game getting refunded. the initial reviews, I was also very skeptical about when they all came back, because everybody's trying to circle jerk CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Because realistically, they make good games, and they are the company itself was at least held in a high regard. I think they've kind of come back down to reality and realized that no studio is here for you, regardless of what they say and what they try to do. They're not here for us. They're here for investors, and that makes sense. But that's just how it runs. Like, I think on the Metacritic has an 87, and I think that's still pretty lenient. Honestly, I'd give it a low 80, high 70s. For my personal thing, I still enjoy the game. I think it's great. The balancing, I was telling Rich, needs a lot of work. They just kind of threw together some perks, but that's an entirely different conversation. On like, besides people refunding it, this is like their first. Maybe they're like, hey, this is our first time doing these kind of balancing things. They're real shit at it. I will tell you that.
Are you talking about the upgrade trees?
Yes.
Yeah, I opened that and I was just like, what am I looking at?
Not even saying that. It's broken. I'm level 10 and I can one-shot most anything with a pistol.
Huh.
Oh.
Because I threw all my points into pistols. So my crit chance is pretty high. But on top of having a crit, because I have a silencer, if I hit them from stealth, I get an additional multiplier. And if it's a headshot, I get additional multiplier on top of the multiplier. It's like if I'm from stealth shooting someone in the head with a pistol with a silencer, my multiplier is like times 8.5 of my base damage. So it's just like stuff like that. It's super easy, specific things. It does play more like a Bethesda game when you start getting the stealth arrow and you can one-shot the final boss with the stealth arrow. And I didn't expect that from a game like this. So
yeah, I kind of did, especially when they announced, hey, we're gold. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But also
yeah. But this is cool though. Play on my phone. Amazing.
that is very good. That is
really
awesome,
cool.
actually.
Oh,
I just used that. Yeah. All right, why not?
freaking cool. Is that on Stadia?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's on
bro.
Stadia. It's running 1080 60 in performance mode or 1080 30 for the graphics mode.
That is really
That's still
cool.
pretty cool though.
Yeah, and the graphics, I mean, still looks good.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to take a screenshot of that so we can see what they are outside of webcam and all that.
I'll take a screenshot on my iPad.
All right.
From everything I'm reading online and what I've seen so far and what you guys are saying, it just sounds like this game has like a solid foundation, but everything else outside of that just needs more work. I know that they've announced that there's going to be a December patch, a January patch, and then like a major February patch. And that's the reason why I refunded the game. This game's not done yet, and I'm going to wait until this game is done and then see what kind of changes they make. Because I do want to play it, just not in the state that it's in now.
That's why I've been mostly doing side quests. I don't want to keep progressing. I don't want to hard charge my main quest and then figure out that 2 months from now it's going to be a better game. So I'm doing a lot of side quests, and I don't know if any of you, I know the other two have gotten far. I don't know if you ever got far enough where once you get your eyes, you can start scanning people to see if there's a bounty on them. That's pretty much what I do nowadays. I just use my pistol to level up my pistol, and I run around the city, kill a bunch of people who have a bounty on them to get like money and level up my pistol, and then that's it. And side quests, kind of, but mostly just killing bounty people.
That's another thing, though. You can level up fast in an early level, and you're destroying. Because I have mono wires. I don't even know why I got it. That's like a late game thing. You literally take out wires in your wrists, and you literally just cut people into slices. I don't know why I even have it. I just started the game, and man, I go in and I just destroy people. It's like there's really no challenge. I'll be in a room with like 15 people, and I'm just like, oh, and no one's killing me.
I think the challenge in the game comes from similar to Borderlands, where there's just someone who happens to be a higher level than you.
Yeah,
like
I wish there was
you
more
could look at
strategy.
Yeah, But
Was there difficulty levels for this game? I think there was, wasn't there? What?
there was.
What did you guys
I'm
pick?
playing normal.
I just
Like
normal.
whatever the average one.
Okay.
Or some challenge, but mostly I'm not trying to spend my time trying to grind out a level.
I think
Yeah.
I played on hard, and I thought that was, at least for me in the early games, seemed like a decent balance of difficulty. Where I had to think before I entered a room.
Tell you.
Yeah. No. I haven't played as much of the game, so.
I'm just saying. With the pistol, I think I can hit 5,000 or 6,000 health point headshots if I crit.
Wow.
And I have like a 45% chance to crit. So 1 in 2 bullets going to hit someone for 6,000 damage, which everyone I've so far cannot take 6,000 damage straight to the dome.
Not even Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
On the positive note, though, the main story, the interactions, the storytelling is pretty solid. I'm enjoying that.
The music's good too.
Music's good. I'm in love with Judy. Yeah, that's really about it.
CD Projekt Red.
What a rough week for CD Projekt. They had Devotion,
CSI.
and then just all the Cyberpunk stuff.
I know their stocks are dropping too.
I saw one of the investors.
Maybe this is the time to buy it.
Yeah. What's that?
Maybe it's the time to buy it.
The stocks?
Yeah.
Oh, it's tanking.
Let's see.
It is
CD.
tanking.
Oh, exactly.
I think it went down 20% either today or yesterday.
Once it hits the rock bottom, I'll throw.
Holy
See
cow!
what happens.
It's 1850, 15% right now.
Wow. Buy it now, then they release Witcher 4, and they shoot back up.
Exactly.
All you gotta just wait till they announce Witcher 4 and then sell by the end of the week.
What is
I'm not sure if I'm really excited for Witcher 4.
Yeah.
Because, The Witcher is about an actual Witcher. This one, I heard Witcher 4 is going to be about Ciri, and she never technically went through the whole entire Witcher, I guess you could say preliminaries, and officially became a Witcher. So she's just a very powerful warrior with insanely powerful powers.
She could go through the Witcher process, couldn't she? There's not an age limit on it, is there?
Well, according to lore, I think Witchers can only be male, and that's why
I think I remember seeing
Geralt
that.
of Rivia was kind of lenient in allowing her to go through the Witcher because he thought she would die, and she did try going through it, but I think she did almost die, so he had to stop it, and she never actually completed. She did go through all the physical fitness and everything, but she didn't actually officially go through the process.
Because the process of becoming a Witcher is just drinking a bunch of toxic potions, right, and surviving.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
So what I do
That's
on a
it?
daily
So-
basis.
So you drink all that, you survive, and you're a Witcher?
Yep.
But there's a huge physical test too.
It's a physical test while drunk. Is that what it is?
I can't wait for my next friend that blacks out on like a night of drinking. He wakes up. You're a Witcher, Harry.
You're a Witcher, Harry.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? Get off me.
You're awake.
So, that's Cyberpunk. Hopefully it turns around. Buy Cyberpunk stock or CD Projekt Red stock when it's low, and then sell.
It's still like $70-something, so it's still not too bad.
I think MMG stock's pretty low right now too. You can buy it.
Yep.
It's probably free.
Yeah, at some point maybe we can throw a couple dollars my way so I can put this in an audio feed of some sort. We'll see. But thank you for listening to our podcast. Our Twitter account is Mad Mega Gaming. Our YouTube account is Mad Mega Gaming. You can watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrueChatLu, and at some other point everybody else will start getting their Twitches online. But thanks again for listening, and we'll chat next time.